Your writing desk is crawling with ghouls, clever little time thieves who slip in the moment you sit down to write. And by the time you notice, they've drained your writing hours dry. That's why adding more time, it never works. Because if you don't catch these ghouls, they'll simply steal whatever other time you get too. But once you know their tricks, you can stop the theft before it starts. And that, dear writer, is exactly what we're about to do. We expose their tricks in this video, and then we ghost bust them. Ghoul number 1, the Hollow Shade. She never storms in. No, she just drifts across your confidence like a thin layer of frost. And suddenly you feel uneasy. You start asking yourself, what if this scene proves that I can't write? What if people laugh at it? What if it's better not to know how bad it really is? Pretty soon you tell yourself you're just taking a break, but the Hollow Shade is already wrapping herself around your resolve, humming lullabies of comfort while your unfinished draft grows cold. Gliding in just after the Hollow Shade comes the Polisher Wraith. The Polisher Wraith hovers over your shoulder, watching every word you type and sighing softly when it fails to sparkle. You can't leave the sentence like that, she says. Fix the rhythm of that line. Well, actually, no. Fix the rhythm of that entire paragraph. I guess that word is fine, but isn't there a better one? Why don't you just delete it and start over? That'll be faster. Soon, you're rearranging commas with surgical precision, debating 3 synonyms for glanced, and rereading the same paragraph for the 14th time while the rest of your chapter quietly decomposes behind you. And if somehow you manage to escape to the next scene, the Polisher Wraith simply floats after you, convincing you to go back and polish just one more thing until your writing session collapses into revision quicksand. Ghoul number 3, the Tangled Imp. This jittery creature erupts from your desk drawer in a confetti blast of sticky notes, half-filled notebooks, and 3 forgotten outlines from 2019. Didn't you have a list of character names somewhere? He asked. Wait. Wasn't there a different version of Chapter 2 in here? Maybe you should just reorganize everything before you start. You try to write, but the Tangled Imp dances across your screen, hurling open folders and renaming your files something like Final Draft 305B Real. And if you do manage to get some words down, he'll pop back up just long enough to shuffle your notes around again, crash your focus, and convince you to spend the rest of your session rearranging your writing software settings. The Tangled Imp doesn't slow your progress. He shreds it until your writing time is just tiny sparkling chaos blowing across the floor. Ghoul number 4 is the Quill Phantom. The Quill Phantom drifts in, wearing scholarly robes, carrying a stack of dusty tomes. Have you researched this scene enough, he asks you. Maybe you should read 5 more books first? And shouldn't you plan the ending before you write the middle? What if there's a better plot structure, and you just haven't found it yet? You sit down to draft your story, but the Quill Phantom glides between you and the page, demanding outlines, frameworks, and bullet-pointed brilliance before you're allowed to write a single sentence. And if you try to just sneak past him and get started, he drifts closer, murmuring about plot holes, theme arcs, and market trends until your momentum shrivels like parchment in his grip. Ghoul number 5, the frenzy revenant. You'll hear him before you see him. The frantic scratching of quills, the crackle of smoldering to-do lists, and the faint hiss of something on fire. You can rest when the draft is done, he says. Just one more all-nighter and then you'll be caught up. You don't need breaks, you need discipline. If you slow down, you'll lose everything you've been working for. He storms through your writing sessions, whipping you into marathon sprints that leave your eyes gritty and your sentences unraveling mid-thought. If you try to pause, he only gets louder, insisting that you pile on new goals until the weight of your own ambition snaps your momentum in half. The frenzy revenant doesn't steal your time. He burns through it, leaving you standing in the smoke with nothing left to give. Ghoul number 6. The flicker sprite. Flash of light, a blur of motion, and there goes your attention span, spiraling off into the void. Just check your messages one more time. Ooh, someone commented on your post. Did you remember to pay that bill? What if you redesigned your author website right now? You open your draft, and the flicker sprite zips across the screen like a caffeinated firefly, scattering your focus into shiny little fragments, nudging you to take a quick break that mysteriously lasts 3 hours and ends with you deep into the middle of a documentary about Viking shipbuilding. The flicker sprite doesn't block your writing. He splinters it until your session dissolves into a dozen abandoned tabs and one very smug ghoul. This is the deadline fiend. She slinks in wearing a crooked grin with the faint aroma of coffee and panic. She's quiet at first until the clock starts ticking. There's still plenty of time, she says. Just wait until you're really in the zone. You're not behind yet. Then, as your deadline looms, the deadline fiend pounces, whipping your nervous system into a frenzy and shoving you into an all-night sprint just like that, fueled entirely by terror and potato chips. And if you ever try to start early, she scoffs, snuffing out your momentum with a single hiss. Relax, you're not desperate enough yet. The deadline fiend doesn't want steady progress. She wants disaster, so she can swoop in at the last second and make you believe that chaos is your real process. It's true that while you're trying to write, one or more of these ghouls are likely swirling around your process. More time isn't going to fix this problem. If the ghouls come with you, they'll eat your new hours too. So here's how you break the spell starting today. First, watch for the signs that a ghoul has arrived. Maybe you keep rereading the same sentence or changing the word and to and back several times. That could be the polisher wraith. Or your desk suddenly explodes into notes and tabs like the tangled imp just sneezed glitter all over the place. Or you feel that sudden urge to do just a bit of research before you write a single word. Classic quill phantom. And then there are their whisperers. The exact lines they use to lure you off the page. Fix this first before you go on. Polish a wraith. Organize everything before you write. Tangled imp. You're not ready yet. Hollow shade. The moment you notice them, say their name out loud. That tends to break the spell. They hate being seen. Your next step is to make a small counter move. It needs to be tiny and quick, and it's something you can finish immediately. Think something that will take you only 2 to 10 minutes. Not planning, not rearranging, not research. Real, visible progress. A few scrappy words, one concrete detail, a single beat of dialogue. The trick is, you choose it. That choice disarms the ghouls, especially the ones that shriek at structure and hide behind perfection. They feed on overwhelm, and a small winnable task, that starves them. So here are some examples to help you. If you're being haunted by the Polisher Wraith, just write 100 messy words on purpose. Make it as bad as you like. If the hollow shade has crept in, whispering, "You shouldn't do this," write down 3 snappy lines to break the silence. If the flicker sprite is pinging you with distractions, close every tab, except the one that holds your story. Because here's the secret: ghouls cannot survive momentum. They need you tangled, doubting yourself, spinning in circles. The moment you stack up even a few tiny wins, a sentence here, a paragraph there, a chapter over there, your brain stops seeing writing as dangerous and starts seeing it as doable, rewarding. And once it feels like that, the ghouls are lost. That's how you take your time back, dear writer. Not by adding in more hours out of your busy life, but by learning how to catch the ghouls haunting the time that you do have, and keep moving before they have a chance to regroup and attack you again. Now, if you're ready to get serious about arming yourself before these ghouls slip back into your writing process, that's exactly what my Writer's Anti-Procrastination Toolkit is for. Inside, you'll be able to unmask your ghouls, track their arrival signs and whispers so you can catch them in the act, and then build a ready list of tiny counter moves that keep them from stealing your writing time. The ghouls, sadly enough, aren't going anywhere, but they don't have to haunt your writing time anymore. Tonight, they go back in the crypt, and you, dear writer, get your time back. Good luck and happy Halloween.